Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? All right, man. So for those of you that was just with me not too long ago, I had to start this live over because the other device I was on, it was coming up staticky. So you guys were telling me it was mad static in the background. So I'll try to do this one more time. Jay Jerk was good, man. Again, first again. My man Jay Jerk. Focus ball salute, man. Ronald Finkley says it's clear. All right, cool. Let me wait for a few more people to jump up in here. Man, I want to go on before my man BFTB goes live because I want to check his out. My man Dan the Man Box. Let me go ahead and do this for you, Dan. As you as a mod. My man, y'all go subscribe to my man Dan the Man Boxing, man. Uh Mark Wonderlink from Utah, what's good, bro? October 4th. Neutral Natural up in here. Kenny Aid up in here. David Watson, he says much better. Okay, so y'all can hear me. Uh Let me see what my man October 4th says. He says, I think both Wilder and AJ won Undisputed, and I think both are more interested in building it up just right rather than jumping right into it. Wilder seems more confident, though. And I agree that Wilder seems more confident October 4th. But my thing, bro, as far as building it up, how much longer do we need to build this up, though, bro? I'm just saying, anybody that's in concert with you, with your thinking of this, I understand. But man, it's been 3, 4 years now, man. We've been building it up so long. One of the fighters actually took a loss. And I remember back when both guys were undefeated, we were like, man, I hope neither guy messes this up by stalling this and one of them take a loss. The good thing Anthony Joshua was able to do was regain his titles back in the same calendar year. So that's a good thing. You know what I mean? Um, if you're just I'm just a fan of the Wilder versus Joshua fight. Not only the undisputed as the cherry on top, but I'm just excited about the fight. Period. I came out with a video. That video's still up. I said when it's all said and done, Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder will be this era's big fight. I said that in the video. That was my prediction, rather, and we'll see if it comes true. The Wilder Fury was a pretty big fight. The Joshua Ruiz rematch. But I'm talking about with just the fans going back and forth, the style matchup, both guys being what high KO percentage guys. There's a lot of history. Joshua has been unified twice now. Deontay Wilder is the current longest reigning heavyweight champion. He is tied Ali with 10 consecutive defenses. People can argue, oh, who he beat and he didn't fight nobody. Okay, but the facts are he has 10 consecutive heavyweight title defenses. If that's easy, everybody would have done it. It would be more than just Ali, Vladimir Klitschko, Joe Louis, and Larry Holmes, right? It'd be a plethora of other heavyweights who would have done it. All right. So it's not easy no matter what area you're in. All right. That's been proven. It's a fact. Okay. Um, and yeah, I've always thought that between the two guys, man, Wilder comes across as the guy verbally and, just body language comes across as a guy that's way more confident than Anthony Joshua. Okay. Um, so we're on one accord with that. All right. Uh, Let me before I tackle that issue all the way. Let me see here. Before I tackle that, let me say what's up to y'all, man. Jay Jerk says to be honest, every person Wilder beat were better skill wise than he was, so that says a lot to me. Jay Ryan and Slide says, "Preach, brother. Salute. I appreciate that." Jay Ryan and Slide. The Architect One, what's good, bro? He says he beat who he had to. Exactly. He beat who the WBC put in front of him. My man Focus Ball, what's good, bro? He says the loss still diminished the significance of the fight. Less mystery. Yeah, because it's always good when you have two undefeated world champions going in there. You know what I mean? That always catches everybody's attention. But AJ has such a large following and fan base in this country. Uh, you know, they'll still support it, and and he's the belt holder, bro, or he has 3 titles, so that's still there. But yeah, just the whole undefeated versus undefeated, that always adds a kicker to it, right? Whenever you see two champions undefeated, that always catch your attention. But um, besides that, though, the following is still there, um, and I still think the fight will sell well. You know what I mean? AS95I was good, man. Xavier, the boxing nerd, says, I heard Ruiz say he wanted to reign for a long time, yet he didn't train for his first title defense. Exactly. My man, Boxing Conversation with Reggie Owens was good, bro. He says, salute my people. Y'all go sub to my man, Boxing Conversation with Reggie Owens. Does great work. Um, I thought I see my man Dan the Man up in here, but Dan the Man as well, my man Focus Ball. Y'all go sub to their channels, all right? Now let me just okay. My man Dan the Man says Joshua could get ranked by the WBC. I wonder why he hasn't done so. Um, Before I tackle the AJ thing and what he said, let me go ahead and do this again with Andy Ruiz. I want to read exactly what he had to say, man. Hopefully, I can find this article on this device that I'm on. Y'all bear with me for 1 second. And for those of you that was on a few minutes ago with me, you heard me talk about this briefly, but let me just do this real quick because I got to be quick on this, man. Let me see here. Boxing scene. Yeah, now Andy is talking like somebody that's hungry again. And like I said, let me see if I can. If I can't find the article, I'll just click on it because I knew he. Let me see. Where's that article at? Oh shit. Let me see here. Okay, yeah. So this is per boxing scene. Okay, Andy Ruiz vows I'll prove the haters wrong again. Okay, so bro, I mean, I get it, right? Everybody got haters, right? But bro, in this situation though, man, I mean, you went in there and you admitted this. Nobody's making this up. Nobody's putting words in your mouth. After the fight, you came up with your laundry list of excuses, and one of them were you didn't train hard. You were training by. It came out that you were doing training sessions by yourself, which is okay if you're attacking the gym and doing what you have to do in the gym. But you're, from what I'm hearing, some of your sessions were just you with other people, with new people that were around, or people that were not people that are supposed to be there to look over the training camps or your training sessions. Okay, Manny Robles has your father and Manny Robles have came out and said that they did not like the preparation for this fight. Um, so to me, like I was saying, man, how all of a sudden now I know in the first fight you made like what 6 or 7 million. Don't quote me, but somewhere around there. And then for the rematch, I know you at least made double that, right? Let's just say I'm not sure exactly what his bank statement reads, but I'm sure you're anywhere from, if I had to guess, 15 to 20 million to $20 million richer. So I'm trying to understand, how are you more hungry now? And I know some of you are gonna say, Mr. Boxing, you're a hypocrite because you said he would be hungry going into the rematch. And I was wrong. But now after the rematch is over and it's done with, I'm just trying to I'm trying to put just some context to these words, man, because he says in this interview with ESPN Deportes, he says, I've had time to reflect since Saturday's fight. Congratulations to Anthony. He did what he had to do. Now it's time for me to do what I owe. Okay. Then he also says, I will come back stronger. I will be world champion again. I appreciate the love and support of my true fans, and I appreciate the haters too. I can't wait to prove them wrong again. I will return to the gym and start the road to those titles. Okay, well, bro, you need to prove to yourself first before you try to prove the haters or the naysayers or the contrarians. You need to prove to yourself that you still want it. All right. Because people were behind you, man. If you mean haters, you mean the people that was just going for AJ and they wanted you to lose. But dude, people were behind you, man. You know what I mean? And you went in there and not only failed them, you failed yourself, man, by putting up, knowing that you were not prepared. You told us you were, and you put on, look, he masqueraded around like somebody that was ready to go. Maybe he's one of them dudes that can just literally get off the couch and look good on the mitts because he had me fooled. And people say, well, Mr. Boxing, I mean, the scale told you everything, Mr. Boxing. You should have known he wasn't training. Well, not necessarily, because like I said, he always gains weight going into the biggest fight at that point of his career from his previous fight. Meaning, when he went into the Parker fight, he weighed more going into the Parker fight than he did the fight previous. Going into that first AJ fight, he weighed less. He weighed less against Dimitrenko, more against AJ. So this is something he's always done. So that's why I never took to it too much. I mean, he's always 6 or 7 pounds heavier. And that 283, I thought that was more like 275 with the sombrero. I took his word for it that he ate breakfast, lunch, and dinner before the weigh-in. He was drinking fluids to stay hydrated. Then he had, like I said, the sombrero on, the sweatpants, a shirt, So I thought that, because sometimes y'all know how it is. If you guys are into working out, keeping track of your weight, you know how anything can throw a scale off. You can literally weigh 225 pounds, take a piss, and be at 223 and a half. I've done things like that. I'm pretty sure you guys have too, man. Or you've heard stories of fighters doing this type of thing. So I thought it was more like, I do think he weighed more, but I didn't think it was the full 283. So that's why I didn't take much into it. And from that Thursday workout they did before that Saturday, he looked great on the mitts. Fast, powerful, quick, snapping punches. You know what I mean? So he had me full, man. And like I said, maybe he's one of them guys that can just literally get off the couch and look great on the mitts because he's just the muscle memory of just hitting mitts and just throwing punches. You know what I mean? But he didn't go in there and roll the dice for nothing, man. It seemed like he was just a guy that was satisfied with just going 12 and just keeping everybody, just keeping his head. Hey, I won the first fight though. Hey, let's have a rubber match though. You know what I mean? He seemed like that type of guy towards the end of the fight. Yes, there were some moments there where you thought, man, if Andy just let his hands go when there was a close quarters, you thought he could probably make something happen. But Andy, man, the haters, I mean, bro, if they're hating on you right now, it's for good reason though, bro. You dig what I'm saying? If anything, fuck a hater and fuck what do you say? My real support. Okay, you always have love for your supporters, but you need to just block all that out, man. If anything, bro, stay off social media. The next time we see you on social media, it should be you as far as boxing goes. I'm not saying you can't post pictures of you and your family and all that, but I'm talking about as far as your profession boxing, it should be to not your next fight. That's what it should be for, not telling us what you're gonna do and all this and that. And in your three title fights, mixed results, but not enough to where I don't want to see you again. You dig what I'm saying? The Parker fight could have went either way. I actually scored it a draw immediately after the fight. Did my post fight video, I had it a draw. You beat AJ in impressive fashion the first time, and then you lost a 12-round decision to him in the next fight. So mixed results, and I still think that you should be in the running for big fights. But the next time we hear from you, bro, it should be saying, "Hey, my next fight is on this day. Check me out. No more talking." You got the money, so it ain't like you somebody, you got the bread in the bank. So I want to see how I want to see your preparation going into another fight, man, and I want to see where you're at because for somebody that's going to be 15 and 20 million dollars richer, I just want to see if the motivation is still there. You know what I mean? But if it's in him and it's burning him inside in his gut to want to get back in there and regain titles and to prove people wrong, then I guess we'll see. Um, but that's what I got on Andy. You know what I mean? Before I cook on AJ, let me see. Right, so let me just cook on him, man. Then I want you guys' opinion about Anthony Joshua. Okay, now Anthony Joshua. Let me read what he said exactly, so I don't want to misquote him. Let me see. Pull it up. Anthony Joshua, undisputed. Let me type that in Google. I think it's on his Instagram, but let me just see. I mean, when he started talking like this sometimes, man, y'all remember that old DMX song? Here we go again. Same old shit, dog, just a different day. Here we go again. You know how niggas do when we play, how we play. This is what I be thinking when I be hearing him talk sometimes, man. But let's see what Joshua says. All right. Let's see what AJ, the unified champ, said. He says, okay, so this coming from the unified heavyweight champion, Anthony Joshua. He says, per his social media, he says, let's get Undisputed trending. That's what I want, and that's what the people want. I want it bad. I came to take over, not to take part. First of all, I'll just say this, bro. Why don't you just say I want to fight Deontay Wilder? You know what I mean? Now, I know what you're gonna say, Mr. Boxing. Who knows who will be the WBC champion in a year from now? He could lose to Fury. He can lose to Dillian White. He can lose to this guy, that guy. Um, Look, bro. We've been one undisputed. We've been trying to get this trending, but I'm an AJ. Hey, look, I am an Anthony Joshua fan, so I'm going to help him get this trending. I'm doing my part by putting out my video to help this trend. Okay. Anyways, man, we're not going to get it anytime soon because you have title defenses coming up. Um, they're talking about Pulev, and then you got the Usyk situation. I was hearing Usyk and Chisora may fight. So you got that whole thing, man. So to me, it's like, when is this going to take place? You know what I mean? When? And then I know people want to say, because I get this comment all the time, but Mr. Boxing, Deontay Wilder turned down 100 million. Look, people keep saying 120 million, but it was 100 million 3-fight deal with DAZN. And he would have had the AJ fight. That's false, okay? Because he fought Brazil. That's one fight. And then, what was it, 2 AJ fights? Well, first of all, why the fuck would you take a flat fee in some fucking deal? But Mr. Boxing, it's the most money he would ever get in one. Well, you don't know how much money's in his bank account. And I'm pretty sure Deontay Wilder's pretty fucking comfortable If I had to guess, I'm not his accountant, I don't know his bank statement, but if I had to guess, I think he's comfortable as far as living and his money. All right. Um, yes, it would have been the most money you've ever seen, but dude, who would take a flat fee? That's like, could you imagine if Pacquiao would have took that flat fee of 40 million when he fought Mayweather? But it's the most money he's ever saw. Yeah, but then he made what, triple that or some shit when they actually fought. It was years later, but he made triple that. And this 3-fight deal with the zone would have not included Anthony Joshua. They would have probably had to renegotiate another deal or something because he fought Brazil. That's the one fight, right? Or am I reading into this wrong? He fought Brazil. That would have been one fight. And then Anthony Joshua ended up losing. He was supposed to fight Miller. Ruiz stepped in, and that was his 2 fights right there. 2 Ruiz fights, right? And then now he has these mandatory defenses. So Deontay Wilder has fought Brazil, fought Ortiz. Now he's about to fight Fury. So that's 3. So it wouldn't have happened. So I don't get what deals everybody's talking about when there was clearly other fights that were taking place. Am I missing something? Am I when I go to you guys' questions, man, maybe you guys inform me. Maybe I was asleep or something, or I just missed that news, or it was one of those weeks where I wasn't on YouTube. And I'm not even being sarcastic. I'm being dead serious, man. Maybe I missed that part. He's always been shaky to me, man. Look, when they fight, if Anthony Joshua was to land a 3-4 punch combination at Wilder, could he possibly get him out of there? Yeah. But when it comes to these dudes, where they talk, when it's concerning the other one, Anthony Joshua doesn't seem as confident as Deontay Wilder, man. So when he says stuff like this, it's like, yeah, bro, is this just like when you said you wanted 50 million? And then when they said, okay, we can try to, let's make it happen. But Mr. Boxing, they don't have 50 million. Dude, you dealing when Al Heyman's involved and Al Heyman knows the gratitude of this fight, they're going to come up with it. Al Heyman knows that this fight right here, for the division, for this fight to be made is paramount, man. He knows that. You know what I mean? So they would have made that shit happen. You know what I mean? With Mr. Boxing, why didn't he make the Charles Martin fight that unification? Because he was looking out for the best interest of Charles Martin. Charles Martin didn't want to unify with Wilder. He picked AJ and Joseph Parker. So just to answer that question, because people keep asking me that, well, why didn't he unify with Charles Martin then? Because they're looking out for the best. He looks out for the best interest of said fighter. And if he's managing or he's advising 2 guys, he's going to look for the best option for each guy individually, man. And Charles Martin, his best bet was going to the highest bidder. The highest bidder at that time was Eddie Hearn. I remember this. I did videos on him offering it to Parker and offering it to AJ. And AJ, they came up with the biggest bag. The best interest for said fighter. So it would be in his best interest for him to advise his people to get that 50 million together for AJ. Then AJ comes out and says, I'm not going to sell my soul. He's all over the place, man. And it's been proven that Anthony Joshua, as good as a fighter he is, I know he's won a gold medal. I know he's a 2-time unified champion. I'm not taking that away from him, okay? But he does come off contradictory sometimes with a lot of stuff that he says, immensely, man. This is the same guy that said, and I did a video live on this, this is the same guy that said that he thought that Tyson Fury went in there and just outboxed, his words, not mine, and ran, and even used an analogy of if he was the king of Dubai, and another, another nation came in and stole the treasure. He thought that's what Tyson Fury did to Klitschko, ran and outboxed. Him and Klitschko went to war. That's pretty much what he said in a nutshell, right? Then he goes and does the same thing in a rematch with Andy Ruiz. I know he changed his style up for that fight and he did what he had to do, but I'm just showing you how sometimes he can say one thing and then really mean another thing. So him saying this, yes, on the outside of it, it looks great, him saying this. I want Undisputed. Fans, get it trending. That's what I want next. When I get done with these unifications, I want Undisputed. Great. Let's get done with the unifications. And that's another thing we keep doing in boxing as fans. We just assume these guys are just going to win, right? We're doing this shit again where you're trying to schedule 3 fights from now, 4 fights from now. But you know what? I like this confidence. Instead of him saying, I might, because sometimes he'll say, he brings up losing a lot. Maybe that loss has relieved him now. Maybe because when he was undefeated, you guys know this, he will bring up losing a lot. If I lose and everybody's lost and Even though that's true that all the greats have lost, but he would bring it up like it was going to happen soon. So maybe he's got that out of his system. Maybe you can look at it like that. Maybe he's relieved and he needed to get that loss out or something. I don't know, man. Every athlete's different. That sounds weird, but every athlete is different, man. Maybe that replenished him now. You know what I mean? He's been waiting for that moment. I don't know, but Wilder comes across like he wants nothing to do with losing. And that body language after the Tyson Fury fight, people say that his body language was coming off like he lost and Fury came off like he won. To me, Fury came off like he was happy that he got up and survived that fucking 12th round. And with him surviving it, was like, hey, shit, I won. You know what I mean? In life, shit, I got up from being knocked unconscious, magically. Wilder came across like, man, fuck, I should have fit. To me, his body language was like, man, I should have fucking finished him. Or man, these fucking scorecards, man. You never know what's gonna happen on these scorecards. And then when it was a draw, he still looked dejected because his mission isn't to come in there and get draws. So if I was an athlete, I'll be pissed off too, or I'll look kind of like, oh man, a draw. You know what I mean? Nobody's gonna be like, yeah, I got a draw. Yes, a draw. Yay! Like, what fighter, what champion will be happy with a draw? On the inside. Now I can understand the different circumstances. You may go to somewhere where it's rigged against you and you're happy to get away with a draw. Some Fury fans feel like that. Well, shit, at least he got the draw, not the loss, because we thought he won. But what real champion is happy about draws? All right, so just the demeanor of the two guys, and Wilder's always been talking about Undisputed. Um, but yeah, man, I guess I mean, it looks good for him to say it, man, but you have some fights coming up, man, and you have to get through your fights first. When you guys are free again, I'm gonna reference this. I'm gonna reference this, okay? We should all do it, not just me, just all do it. Reference this that you want Undisputed, okay? Again, he didn't say anybody's name because Wilder has some fights coming up. He has a Fury fight. I thought that fight was a draw. You know what I mean? So we can't count Tyson Fury out, man. Yes, he's fought the Tom Schwartz of the world and he went tooth and nail with Otto Wilder, but you still can't count that dude out, man. I'm favoring Wilder in the rematch, but Fury is somebody you can't count out. All right. Um, that's pretty much my opinion on it, man. Let me see what y'all say. Try to run through these really quick. Neutral Natural up in here, Kenny 8 up in here, David Watson, Mike Wilkins, JS. He says, yo, G Love from the UK. Appreciate that. Too Tough Talk was good, bro. Ronald Finkley up in here. Let me see, Architect 1, Focus Ball. Ronald Finkley says decapitation season on site ASAP. JS says, I've been waiting for Joshua Wilder since 2015. Me too, JS. Shit, even when AJ he was rated by the WBC at one point. I think he was either number 2 or 3 at one point by the WBC. And I remember then I was like, man, Wilder versus that Joshua kid would be a good fight. So yes, I was one of the dudes. I'm on one accord with you, man. I was one of the dudes that was talking about that since 2015 and really start talking about it 2016 when him and Parker and other guys start picking up those vacant titles that were vacated. You know what I mean? The Architect 1 says, smash that like button, family. Yes, indeed. Kenny A says the fans need to stop the back and forth arguing. But bro, we're gonna do it, man, because we're fans. That's like telling, I'm not sure where you're from, bro, but that's like me. I'm from I live in Minnesota. I was born in Chicago, but I live in Minnesota, and that's like me telling a Packers fan, man, y'all need to quit talking shit about Vikings fans. This is never gonna happen. You know what I mean? We hate cheeseheads. We hate the Packers. Period. You know, you know what I'm saying? So this is just a rivalry, man. Nobody's gonna stop talking about it. I would like to see them fight though, so it can end the talk. But as far as arguing, it's going to stay like that, bro. But that's wishful thinking. But it's not going to stop, man. Daniel Callis says, Mr. Boxing, was that your burner phone you were using last time? You got jokes, huh? My burner phone. Let me see here. Boxing conversation with Reggie Owens. He says, salute my people. Y'all go subscribe to him, man. Xavier the boxing nerd says, I heard Ruiz say he wanted to reign for a long time, yet he didn't train for the first title defense. Exactly. Let me see. I think I went over them already. Let me jump down. Let me do this in reverse. Omega Red says, salute family. What's up, man? Appreciate that. Ronald Finkley says y'all need to get on Eddie Hearn's chin negotiated super fight in America, and that fight should be here. You know what I mean? But it can fill up 90,000 in Wembley, Mr. Boxing. Yeah, but it'll make more money in a 17,000 seat arena here in the U.S. MGM, Barclays, uh, all the beautiful casinos and resorts that we have here in the U.S. You know what I mean? And we all know that, man. We all know that. Shit, they made a ton of money out in Saudi, and how big was that shit they put together? That Lego set. My man Red Jones came out with some great videos about that stadium or that arena or that shit they built, that contractor set. But how much money they make there? That wasn't no 90,000, 50,000. That was comparing it to Wembley was small, very small. So it's not about how many seats, man. You know what I mean? Just put the right digit on them tickets, and people will buy them if they, because the demand will be there. Hammock Sports says Joshua got hurt by multiple fighters and has been knocked out. Why in the world will Wilder be scared to fight him? That's true. That is true. Um, Kenny A says we all need to stop being biased and make these guys fight each other. Yeah, bro. But Kenny, though, man, at the same time, everybody has some bias, man. Like me, I'm biased towards Muhammad Ali, Larry Holmes, George Foreman. Biased. I'm extremely biased. But with being biased, though, you can still have a clear. Should still be able to be balanced, though. You know what I mean? Shout out to my man, Coach Sheldon Harris, because he has um the episode he does of being, what do you call it? Biased but balanced. You got to be. It's okay to be biased, man, but you still have to be balanced with your opinion, um, and breaking down things though, and try to use as many facts as you want or as many facts as you can. Just try to be factual, man. Then come up with your opinion off those facts, and that's what I try to do. Yes, I'm a Wilder fan. I'm an AJ fan as well, man. But I want to support my American champion. Ain't nothing wrong with that. There ain't no wrong with the UK fans supporting AJ. Ain't no wrong with that. But when we come to the table and break it down as fans, um, let's try to use some balance and let's base our opinion off facts. You dig what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it, man. And that's how I've always tried to look at talking about boxing here on YouTube over the last 10, 11 years, man. So that's just the remedy and formula that I use. But everybody's they can use what formula they want. So if you just want to be extremely biased and just, come from a hater's angle and you don't give a fuck, and hey, man, you know what I mean? I won't be I won't be the person you conversate with, because I ain't got time for that, man. I done did that for years on here, trying to be sane in a damn insane asylum. You dig? That's what it feel like sometimes. Um, J.A. Dixon was good, bro. He says, hold on, let me give a shout out to my man CB Sports TV. Y'all go subscribe to him as well. See you going back and forth with October 4th. Um, let me see. Who was that? J.A. Dixon, salute. He says, AJ just blowing smoke. He had ample time, fight night in the ring and post-fight conference to call out Wilder and try to demand the undisputed. Hell, even tried to give Fury step aside money. Yes, and I understand that, the a big mega fight like undisputed takes precedence over uh unificate or mandatories, right? But it's like hit or miss with that. I've heard that to be true with sanctioning bodies. Then when it's time to that to come to for fruition, it's like hit or miss. And sometimes I don't know if it's the damn promoter working with the sanctioning body, greasing his palms with some money, saying, "Hey man, make it seem like this situation is unique, and we have to fight this mandatory." We know that we know that the fans already know that big fights, big unification fights, especially undisputed, takes precedence over mandatories and things like that. But let's trick them though, man. Okay, let's make it seem like this mandatory challenger has been waiting for so long, and it's so important that I fight him. They run that trick on us, man. But you got to read between the lines. They're not going to come out and tell you that. You got to just read between the lines. We know damn well Pulev could have been fought Anthony Joshua, but he got injured. This happened, that happened. Dude, Pulev has been in running to fight for the IBF for what? Ain't it been like some years now? Or am I tripping? I know fought Huey Fury again. Now he's had some interim fights in between time, but he could have been got his title shot, man. So as a fan, it's like, dude, Pulev, go fight Kaunaki or something. Mr. Boxing, he earned the right to fight for the IBF title a long time ago, and always had excuses. You know what I mean? So and then I clearly remember doing a video on this where he was like, nah, man, I'm gonna go the IBU route. Remember when he had the not I'm sorry, the EBU, I'm sorry, when he had the EBU title, which is vacated right now, and Marco Huck will be fighting Joe Joyce for that. They came to an agreement. Aja Cabello had it and he vacated it. But so yeah, Joyce and Huck is fighting for it. But anyways, when he had that title, remember guys, he was like, no, I'm gonna go the EBU route right now. And they end up vacating it once Joshua signed I forgot who Joshua was getting ready to fight. I forget, man, but he could have been had a shot, man. Like, so there shouldn't be no big issue about Pulev not getting a title shot yet. You know what I mean? And Usyk just moved up, and I understand with the WBO they have that thing where if you're a champion at one weight class, you move up to another weight class. The weight class higher, you can get, you'll be in line to be a mandatory. They have that in their rules and their criteria. Okay, so but he had one fight at heavyweight. Yes, he was a cruiserweight champion, undisputed. Shout out to him and Terrence Crawford for getting undisputed done. But he fought Tim Wither. I'm sorry, not even Tim Witherspoon. Chaz Witherspoon. You know what I mean? Would have been a problem if he fought terrible Tim right now. Shit, Tim Witherspoon like 50 years old. But I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. Let me see. L File Player, what's good, bro? He says, salute Mr. Boxing today. How many fights till we get this fight? I don't know, man. Maybe 2, 3. I'm thinking 2 at the minimum, and then maybe 3. 2 to 3. You know what I mean? But saying it now, dude, I'm just going to use this as like I said, I'm just going to use this as a reference video. I'm going to come back to say, but you said, because that's what we do a lot with fighters, man. You got to remind them what they said. Like, bro, did you just forget what you said a few months ago or last year or and I understand things change in a year, especially in boxing. A lot of shit can change in a year. You know what I mean? Titles can change hands, guys can change promotion. Anything can happen. But I just think he's just trying to say this just to come off as, hey, I'm calling for Undisputed. Just using it like that, man. That's really what I think. DB was good, bro. He says only person competing with Wilder was Ortiz. Architect One says it can do at least 65,000 in Dallas. Yeah, or you can take it to Dallas too. You know what I mean? I think it should be here in America. P says, why didn't Wilder take the 100 million? Well, if he would have took the 100 million, bro, for those 3 fights, the AJ and Wilder fight still wouldn't have happened. If Wilder keeps fighting the schedule, okay, this would have been Wilder's third. Am I right or wrong? This would have been Wilder's 3rd fight, right? So there'd have been no AJ fight. And I don't know how much he has made in the last 3 fights. This fight with Fury will be the 3rd fight since that whole negotiation, or that he should take the 3-fight $100 million deal, right? Because he fought Brazil. That would have been 1. You guys correct me if I'm wrong. That would have been 1. The Ortiz rematch, that's 2. And now the Fury rematch, that's 3. Where's the AJ fight? Where that? Where that? Let me scroll down and just make sure. Am I saying it right? Am I saying it right? Just say yes or no. That this would have been his 3rd fight, right or wrong? Right or wrong, y'all? Okay. So what do you mean? My man's what's my man's name? Pete. Yeah, so what do you mean, bro? You say, but he didn't know that before he turned down the 100 million. He lost anyways. You see, look, bro, you see what I mean? Who the fuck wants to get into a deal to where, okay, let's sign a deal and I may or may not fight you? No, sign a deal to fight you. And then even when Wilder did want to do that whole, when they were trying to throw using Dillian White as a pawn, now Dillian White is the mandatory. Congratulations to Dillian White. He's a mandatory now. He's put himself, now he's in position to where he's going to fight the winner out of Wilder Fury. Hopefully it's Wilder by KO because I'm a Wilder fan, even though I like Fury, because then I don't see Fury trying to get no damn rubber match. But if Wilder was to lose by decision or something, I think there's going to be a rubber match. So just for the sake of us as the fans, and because Wilder and White, I think, will be an explosive fight. The press conference is going to be great, all that. You know what I mean? But, bro, There would have been no AJ fight. So don't tell me, oh, but he didn't know. Okay, but we know now there would have been no AJ fight in that 3-fight deal. And why the fuck would you take a flat fee for a fight of that magnitude? Who would do that? But it's the most money he's betting on himself, man. This is somebody, look, when he says he's betting on himself, I believe him, man. He's been betting on himself with just life. Now, a lot of these fighters do. But with Wilder's case, this is somebody that said, you know what? Taking care of his daughter. I'm not going to work in these trucks no more. I'm going to fight. I'm strapping up. I'm about to fight. I'm betting on myself. So his career has been betting on himself. He's not just saying it, bro. Like, you got to really look into this. When he went to the Olympics, usually Olympians, they come out, they have a big push behind them. Not Wilder. Well, especially if you win gold. But even if you just get a medal, you have sponsors. And maybe he did have some local sponsors here and there. Okay. I'm not saying nobody put a quarter into him, but he didn't get no big push. That's why he took on a lot of what you guys call bums and had all those fights, because he needed to gain more experience. With AJ and his people got the gold medal. They just pushed all the chips in the middle of the table and said, look, here, look, son, we're gonna see what you got now. Just like Arslanbek Makhmudov, right? The Russian prospect who's up in Canada right now, who's 10-0 with 10 knockouts. He's beaten Avery Gibson and Jonathan Rice, the two best journeymen that he's beat. His people, I don't know if you heard about it, but his people just put up, saying they want to fight Wilder, and they're willing to put up 20 million. They're pushing the chips into the middle of the table and just gambling. I don't think Wilder's going to take that fight. I don't see why he would. Now, it's good on Makhmudov by just attaching his name to Wilder, but nobody wants to see that. Nobody's calling for that. Wilder and his people say, no, man, you need some experience. Doesn't mean that they couldn't have pushed the chips in the middle and probably have some success, but who knows? But we're not there no more. We're neither here nor there. We're here now. So, bro, that 3-fight, $100 million deal, he would have not have fought AJ. We know that. That's a fact. We didn't know that then. Okay, but we know it now. So, I don't know, bro. That's my opinion, man. He says, Sam Greer says Wilder turned down the DAZN deal, is turning down a fight with AJ. He wouldn't have fought. Okay. He wouldn't have fought Anthony Joshua. His last 3 fights were Brazil, Ortiz, and now it's Fury. Anthony Joshua fought Ruiz again, and now he has 2 mandatory fights that have to be fought or else. That's how they're making it seem. That's 4 fucking fights. So when would he have fought Anthony Joshua? Isn't it the same thing as not taking that deal and doing your own thing, betting on yourself, and you'll fight Anthony Joshua down the road anyways? Because it's obvious that Anthony Joshua is going to have 4 fights since that whole take the DAZN deal. Am I correct or am I wrong? What am I missing here? Am I missing something? Like, and I'm being dead. I'm not trying to be sarcastic. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not putting on Academy Award performance. I'm literally being honest. Am I missing something? There we go. I just look, man. Yeah, bust him upside his head, man. As soon as I see like coward attached to Wilder's name, bust him upside his head. Cause now, man, now you're being emotional, bro. I haven't called AJ a coward. I haven't called you. Once you start doing that, that lets me know you've ran out of game. That lets me know you've ran out of just normal boxing talk. Look, man, I know I ain't crazy, man. So it is what it is, man. Yes, Sam Greer, Undisputed overrides Mandos and everything. You said that. Yes, they do. And I also just said a promoter can grease the palms of the sanctioning body president and put it out there as if said title holder doesn't fight this mandatory, he will be stripped. They can do that. Why do you think we haven't seen Undisputed in other weight classes and it's so hard to make? Because these sanctioning bodies will come out and make it seem like, nope, our mandatory needs to get his shot. Usyk's situation was unique because they were involved in a tournament. They had all the belts in the tournament. Terrence Crawford thing was unique because Ndongo, You know, they just made it happen. They got it together and made it happen. Hearn and AJ's making it come off as if that uh they got to get this thing done now, unless they're going to be stripped. That's how it's coming off. We're already right now, 180 days. You got to get it done now. Got to do it now. They're coming off like that. And if that's the case, okay, bro, cool. I said that. So why don't you go tell AJ, you do know that you don't have to do that. It overrides. Undisputed override Mando. So don't tell me, bro. Go tell AJ. Because he's the one that just came out. This is what the video's about. So go tell him. You get what I'm saying, bro? Like, go tell him. Why does he know this? Because I heard AJ in one interview, and you guys can again, this is not my words. The dude said, "What is lenio?" He came across like he didn't know what lenio was. I know what you're gonna say. You took him out of context, Mr. Boxing. Bro, I love AJ as a fighter, man. I do. I really like the dude as a fighter. He's one of the best of this era. He's unified champion. You know what I mean? But the dude just says some contradictory shit, man. That's my only knock on AJ. That's literally my only knock on him, man. Outside the ring is just sometimes he just contradicts himself. That's my only knock. Literally. I have no problem with Anthony Joshua. I like Anthony Joshua. And to go a step further, me and my wife were hoping and praying that the AJ Ruiz took place here, because we would have went to the AJ versus Ruiz fight over the Wilder versus Ortiz rematch. When both of these fights were being talked about, I was like, man, I hope Andy and AJ is here in America, because I want to see Joshua in person. And I wanted to see, you guys remember when the Klitschko and AJ rematch was, so it was rumored that it might take place in Vegas. I was going to go to that fight. I like Anthony Joshua, bro. He just contradicts the fuck out of himself. That's my only knock. Not calling him out his name. I'm not, you know what I mean? That's my only knock, man. The dude just contradicts himself, man. Okay, cool. Somebody in the comment section say they're an AJ fan and they hear me. And that's it, bro. He just contradicts himself, man. Marvinette says Ruiz let us down and Joshua trollers are on the prowl. Leighton says, but Mr. Boxing is different in the UK to the US. Manners mean a lot here, bro. Pull Counter Boxing was good. He says, I believe AJ will have a breakdown if he had to fight Wilder. I really do. My man Vince is in the room. My man Body Snatcher Returns. He said that Sam Greer, John Skipper, and Eddie Hearn both said AJ wasn't guaranteed on that deal. Yeah, and that's another thing. He wasn't even guaranteed. And it obviously shows he wasn't guaranteed. But at the time, he didn't know that. Okay, but now it's confirmed that it wouldn't have been guaranteed because he lost, took the rematch, and now he's talking about these mandatories. You know what I mean? $79 people in the house, man. 42 thumbs up. Y'all go ahead and hit that like button, man. Let this video get out to other people. So even if they come to disagree with me, more people can be on your side and can tell me off. You know what I mean? Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me what I'm missing. And if you agree with me, cool. If not, that's cool too. You know what I mean? But Fabrici says, it's he said, she said, kind of just sounds like dudes interpreting what happened according to whatever narrative they prefer. Rather talk about the fights themselves than the politics, to be honest. Same here. That's why I do a lot of breakdowns and things like that. But I was just putting this video out here because I'm an Anthony Joshua fan. So he said, hey, fans, put this out there that I want Undisputed. So I'm doing my part as a heavyweight boxing fan, bro. That's all I'm doing. Just doing my part as a heavyweight boxing fan, putting it out there like he's asking us to. You know what I mean? Although I know it don't seem like it's going to happen anytime soon, but I still want to see it. I'm a fan of Wilder versus Joshua. Even when Joshua wasn't champion and people were going in on him, talking about his loss to Ruiz, I was still saying, look, Wilder and Joshua needs to happen just for the sake of this era. We need to see that fight. And this when he was ex-champ at the time. So I've been a fan of this fight. Them being undisputed just puts the cherry on top. You know what I mean? But my man DLG215 says, nobody hates on AJ, he hates on himself. Yeah, AJ is one of the first people I heard start talking about losing. You know what I mean? My man Gregory Wyatt in that super chat, he says, smash that like button, family. Hashtag LDBC. Shouts out to the LDBC, man. Bro, my brother's doing some great work in the LDBC. Um, just great content all around, man. A lot of talented brothers, man. So shout out to the LDBC. Sam Greer says, he says, what if the fight is worth 3 million, I'm assuming. And he says, you're getting 1 million, but he's taking the other share of the pot. I'm lowering my standards. That's not right. Look, bro, I expect these dudes when they get into these negotiation rooms to try to do the best business for themselves. You know what I mean? A fight of that magnitude, man, they both need each other. Okay. And what I mean by that is this: if Anthony Joshua goes to the UK and fights the Milkman, people will show up. But we all know fighting the Milkman and fighting Deontay Wilder is something totally different. And at this point, man, one guy still hasn't lost. Yes, a loss just doesn't define you, but there's still that luster of, okay, you're AJ is also still fighting the current longest reigning heavyweight champion. He's still fighting somebody that's undefeated. And he's still fighting you know, somebody that gains a lot of traction here in America with his numbers as far as when he's fighting on Showtime, the pay-per-view numbers were pretty good over here in America. I know, and that's another thing. The UK pay-per-view stuff is different than over here, man. It's like apples and oranges. You know what I mean? You can only compare UK pay-per-view with another UK pay-per-view because the price of them, how popular that sport is over there versus over here. Yes, I know we have way more people than you guys, but people are watching NBA. Yes, I know to you guys it sounds crazy for any boxing fan, or it sounds crazy to hear that there are sports fans over here that would rather watch the SEC college football championship game over boxing. Well, guess what? That's what they like over here is football and basketball, man. You know what I mean? Boxing is like the third or fourth sport over here, or not, not even third, but maybe fourth or fifth. Well, I know basketball, football, baseball. You know what I mean? I know those come first. Over there, I know you guys have soccer over there, or you guys call it football over there, but soccer over there and some other things. But boxing is very popular over there as well, though, man. So I'm not sure where it ranks for you guys sports, but over here, man, boxing like an afterthought. So for Wilder and Ortiz to do 2 million viewers on their fight camp episodes, that's amazing. 300,000 pay-per-views, that's amazing, man. But Floyd, yeah, but Floyd has a whole different. That dude is the motherfucking pay-per-view, one of the biggest pay-per-view star in the history of pay-per-view. It's hard to just surpass him. You know what I mean? Like that's not easy to do. But you can compare his pay-per-view numbers to his contemporaries that are fighting now, and he's doing pretty damn well for himself. You know what I mean? Uh, October 4th says the most accurate way to compare pay-per-views across different countries is how much money they generate, I think. But yes, here in the US, there is way more competition. Hell yeah, man. Way more. Way more. Way more. And I know, like I said, I know the UK fans, they hear like, what? College athletes performing is more important? Yes. Dude, college football is huge over here. You wouldn't imagine. Wait till the bowl season starts. When all these bowl games start getting played, the Sugar Bowl, and they got the playoffs happening, and man, the Rose Bowl. Are you kidding me? One thing you can depend on, bro, is the holidays coming around and college football bowl games around this you know what I mean, December, January. Let me see here. Marvinette says years have passed and Joshua has been using the years to improve. He avoided competition and has been hold on, shit. Polemical fights. I'm LDBC and won't listen to all the rhetoric. DOG215 says, I wouldn't put much thought into pay per view in the UK. They pay for anything. Fury can sing a song and it will go to number one. Not in America, he wouldn't. Uh, they buy anything in the UK. I know here, man, it's much more of a tough sell, bro. I know to outsiders, they're like, man, why wouldn't people want to buy this fight or that fight, or man, you guys aren't popular over there. It's just way more competition here, man. But hey, y'all, I had to switch devices, man. Um, so I can get on. Got close to 80 people on here today, man. So I've been getting between like I've been topping off between like 80 and 115 people, man. And I've been consistent this whole week. I went live this whole week, man. That's a milestone for me, man. I don't think I went live every day of the week, man. Or at least Monday through Friday. But appreciate y'all showing up, man. And we're gonna keep this thing going. We're gonna grow this crowd with these live streams. And let me see. Bright, okay, let me go ahead and he says, Deontay, this is from Bright. He says, Deontay just isn't popular. Let's be honest. For a fighter like to make those numbers, I think it's terrible. His promoters need to go to work, period. He isn't popular. Okay, well, he just wanted to go meet the Pope. Forbes did a what did Forbes come out? Forbes magazine came out with something that had Wilder number one or something like that. ESPN, which is the world's biggest platform for sports, came out with their most popular fighters. He was rated number one ahead of Tyson Fury, Canelo, and I want to say Fury. Yeah, AJ. I'm sorry. Let's see here. What else? Over 2 million something people watch his fight camp fucking episodes. He gets way over 1 million viewers for his Showtime fights. What the fuck are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Please, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? How much more popular do you want him to be? See, this is what I'm saying, bro. Like, see, you got, man, bro. We just turned this whole conversation into popularity. This really lets me know it's time for me to go. Hey, man, I'm gonna go head over to my man, BFTB now, man. I appreciate y'all showing up. Even if you disagree with me, I like going back and forth. Like I said, we are all boxing nerds. We come and congregate, you know what I mean, to our sanctuary on YouTube and talk about boxing. Appreciate y'all showing up, man. Y'all be good. I'm gone.